Not only do masters or spiritual leaders serve a purpose for a specific given period of time, but so do teachers that you go to for various subjects. There simply is a time in your evolution when you may need the base of the pyramid teachers, teachers that themselves have an identity and teach within identity consciousness. There's nothing wrong with that. And it is a big mistake for a teacher that teaches, for instance, the top of the pyramid in terms of more evolved information, to think less of somebody who is a teacher at the lower levels. It is equally arrogant for a teacher at the lower levels to look at somebody that is busy at the capstone of the pyramid of knowledge to say to them, because I cannot hear the drummer, I deduce therefore that the dancer is mad. So my brothers and sisters, it is very important that we do not get attached to personality. There isn't just one master. There isn't just one teacher on earth. And there are going to be times when one is right for you and another is not. And then you might go to that other one again, and then so forth, moving up the pyramid. If you get attached always to being the servant, you deny yourself the chance of becoming the master. Each individuation at this time is capable of mastery. But if we only see the teacher as able to achieve those things, instead of understanding that learning is now exponential, and an insight that comes in just an instant can actually give you visions and perceptions beyond what that teacher has. At the capstone of teaching, you no longer teach others as though they are the student and you are the only master. At that time, what you do is you actually encourage others' mastery. You encourage others to walk the walk that you're walking and to stand upon your shoulders and to fly. There is a breaking point in terms of that there is a time when your teacher becomes somebody that has silenced the dialogue of the mind, that has actually left ego identification. But unless you go to beyond the next two phases of development where they are in deep bliss or in deep silence, you will then find a teacher beyond that is willing to teach. Because in the deep bliss that most masters are in, their presence is really all they offer. They don't offer many teachings. They don't tell you how to get there or how they got there beyond the very superficial. But you will come to a place where there is an additional added bonus, and that is that somebody has silenced the mind and has now gained levels of development where they are again functioning in a way that they can analytically tell you how they got there. And at that point, you yourself will enter mastery and go into the silence of the mind. When you are in silence of the mind, something happens that is not necessarily exclusive. It just means that it's indicative that you've moved into higher levels where the air is clear and the eagles fly. But you find that you are no longer very happy to be for a long period of time in the company of the fellow men that you were with before that have clattering thoughts. Because as yourself, your own thoughts silence, then you can hear them better. And now their thoughts sound like rabbits racing back and forth across the field. So at that time, you start to search out others who have silenced the dialogue of the mind. And in this camaraderie, my brothers and sisters, there is great peace. It is for me hard to call my students students. Therefore, I acknowledge them publicly as masters. They are the ones that were able to brave all, to throw their own belief systems out the window, to take up the responsibility and say, I stand forward as a master for the mother and the father of all life. Those are the ones with great courage that I call my students, but yet they are the greatest of masters. At the capstone, there is a very thinly veiled distinction between master and teacher. It is the place where all live in mastery.